Hola clase. Para tomar apuntes sobre el presente perfecto, también se llama el pretérito perfecto, o a veces se llama el pretérito perfecto. Los objetivos de hoy son: I know how the present perfect is used. I can form sentences using the present perfect. I'm familiar with some of the irregular past participles. I gave you a sheet today in class with a list of the irregulars, so you should pull that out now so you can refer to that. El presente perfecto equals have or has plus ed or en in English, sorry. It's a recently completed action or a past action that is still relevant in the present. Okay? Pueden buscar más información en la página 256 en el libro. So how do you form the present perfect? We're going to talk about this first, and then I'm going to show you some uses for it. So you use the present tense of haber and the past participle. You would conjugate haber according to the person, which is used as a helping verb. So, has, a, hemos, habéis, han, and then you would use a past participle, like I have eaten. Eaten is a past participle, it's an en. She has opened, okay? That's the helping verb, and then you have the ed or the en, which is a past participle. You have used to have a lot, which is tener, but not as a helping verb. You have to have haber in the present perfect. Think of the present progressive. It's very similar. The present progressive is estar plus the present participle, which is also the gerund. Estoy comiendo. You need both parts of it for a complete sentence. Okay, para formar el participio, hablar, quitas la AR y añadas ado. Comer, quitas la terminación y añadas ido. Vivir, quitas la terminación y tenemos ido. Entonces, para los verbos que acaban con AR es ado y los otros verbos ido. Por ejemplo, hablar es hablado, comer, comido, vivir, vivido. Spoken, eaten, lived. Ok, vamos a formar una frase ahora. I have chosen. Bear with me with my pen because I've just started using the pen. So I'm not that great at writing with it. So if you want, you can use yo. Okay. Then you have, which is your helping verb, which is a. Y después chosen. You know chosen. It's escoger or elegir. So let's use escoger. Yo he escogido. Así. Okay? And then, of course, you probably want to add something else to it. It's a very basic sentence. She, ella, has, look back at your notes with the chart, and left is salir. You take out the ending, you add ido. Ella ha salido. Okay, instead of saying she left, she has left. Instead of saying he chose, or I chose, I have chosen. We have vowel. So we can use nosotros. And then have, hemos. You don't need nosotros. To follow, you remember to follow? Seguir, right? Seguido. In this tense, or the past participle, seguir does not stem change. Okay? Otras formas del participio pasado, when the stem of an ER or IR verb ends in A, E, or O, you add a written accent over the I. Okay? So, por ejemplo, traer, reír, creer, ver. Okay, write these down. And caer, all of them in their stem have the A or the E, okay? Or an O. Don't have an O one here, but or an O. When you add the ending, you have to have an accent mark over the I. Creído, 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 leído, caído. Can you think of why that might be? It's for how you pronounce it. And basically, if you look at all of these, you have a strong and a weak vowel. You remember U and I are weak, and then A, E, and O are strong. If you have a strong and a weak vowel together, it makes a diphthong. It makes one sound. So if you want to hear the I, you need to put an accent mark over it. Okay? So here's one that ends in U. If it ends in U or I, then you do not add an accent mark. Okay, here you have two weak vowels together, so it makes one sound. Okay, so one sound doesn't overpower the other one. So you can think of construir, incluir, seguir, conseguir, ones like that. Los irregulares es una canción. Are you sleeping? And these are some of the irregular verbs that you have on your irregular verb sheet. This is just another way to try to remember them, so I'm going to sing this song for you. Feel free to sing along if you want. It's abierto, cubierto, descubierto, deshecho, oído, escrito y frito, impreso y resuelto, vuelto, muerto, visto, roto, dicho, puesto, y hecho, y rehecho. If you want to know what these mean, which of course you do, go back to your sheet and I'll give you the meanings for them. But these are some of the irregulars. Okay. The participle with forms of haber and in O. Basically what I'm trying to say here is that yo he comido. It's always an O. It doesn't matter if you're a female or a male or more than one person. It does not change according to the person. There's always an O at the end. Haber and the past participle must stay together. So A and pensado cannot be separated. Even if they're separated in English, they cannot be separated in Spanish. It's just like estar comiendo, estoy comiendo. You cannot put anything between that. You cannot separate them. And then basically, any pronoun has to go before the conjugated verb in a statement, in a sentence. So direct, indirect, reflexive. There's always talking about subject pronouns as well. The only time that you can attach a pronoun is when you have a positive command to a conjugated verb. A conjugated verb means you put it in the yo form or the to form. So it has to go in front. It definitely cannot go in between. It cannot be hemos nos levantado. Adverbios. Okay, there are some verbs that, or adverbs, excuse me, that are used a lot with present perfect tense. Siempre ya, or todavía no. They have already finished the homework. Now, if you look at this sentence, already in English is between the helping verb, okay, and the other part of it, okay? So here it cannot be. Ya has to go before the conjugated verb. Ellos ya han terminado la tarea. It could also go at the end. You could also put it at the end. Okay, some adverbs can go in different places. So, but it cannot go in between the verb and the participle. Here's another one. They have not bought the computer yet. First of all, you cannot separate todavía no. And definitely you can't have anything between have and the participle. So in Spanish, ellos todavía no han comprado la computadora. Todavía no has to go together. Okay? And typically todavía no has to go before the conjugated verb. You really can't put it at the end of the sentence. Doesn't sound as good. Okay. Otras formas de expresar has or have. Hace a period of time, que in the present tense. You had this in Spanish too. Hace 3 años que estudio español. I have been studying Spanish for 3 years. It definitely doesn't translate directly. Typically, how I would say this sentence, and you can say it either way, is I would typically say yo. You don't even have to have the yo if you don't want to. That's lo siento. Estudiado por. Oops, sorry. I forgot, I think I can erase this. I forgot, Spanish. Yo he estudiado español por 3. Okay? When you're talking about a limited period of time, you use por rather than para. Acabar de in plus infinitive, to have just. Acabo de comer una hamburguesa. Okay, another way of saying it. We're going to be practicing, vamos a practicar más el presente perfecto. Okay, práctica. Escribe frases usando el presente perfecto. So, what you're going to do is you're going to stop this, You're going to write these sentences. I would write the English and the Spanish, so you have them in your notes. You're going to stop it, you're going to do it, and then you're going to check your answers. Okay? Buena suerte. Okay, you're back. Okay, las respuestas. Yo he rehecho la tarea. Ella me ha conocido. Me va antes. Okay, ella me ha conocido por 2 años. Nosotros ya hemos traído la comida con un acento. Ellos no han caído acento. Vosotros habéis obedecido el maestro, or if you had la maestra, or el profesor o la profesora. So, write any questions down that you have, y vamos a empezar a repasarlo mañana en clase. Okay? Hope you have a good night, que tenga una buena noche, y vamos a vernos mañana. Chao.